This channel's real, this channel's about documenting, this channel's about talking, having an open opinion. And let's get started. Say whoa, say whoa. Say whoa. Head of a horse, the body of a man. Unidentified flying object. Welcome back to another video.
My friend was sort of like gushing over me being famous, like TikTok famous. And I was trying to stay present, but I was really getting in my head and I was saying like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't want to talk about, don't make this about me. Like, I really like went into myself because I wasn't prepared for that to happen. But this is where it gets weird. She said to me, I also remember seeing you in this TV show playing this character. I wasn't in that TV show and I didn't play that character, and the person who plays that character looks very different to me, but I auditioned for that character in that TV show, but I didn't get it in this timeline. And I said, oh no, like that wasn't me. And she said, no, I remember you. I remember seeing your name, Demi. And she said, I thought it was so cool because I have a cousin Demi and it was like the second Demi I'd ever seen. But I heard this sort of pop sound and I turned around to see what it was and there was nothing that made that sound. And I turned back to her and I said, that's so strange, like I wasn't in that. And she said to me, you weren't in what? And I said, the TV show that we were just talking about. And she said, I've never seen that TV show. We were just talking about your TikTok videos. How do we get on this conversation?
My grandma has very prominent blue eyes, like crystal clear. It's a very prominent feature about my grandma that she has very blue, piercing crystal blue eyes. So this one day, she picks me up. We go to Wendy's. We're sitting in the glass area. If you know Wendy's back then you know what I'm talking about. We're sitting there eating our fries and I look up at my grandma and my grandma has brown eyes. They're brown. And so naturally I was like, Grandma, your eyes are brown. And she was like, yeah, Lauren, I have brown eyes. I was like, Grandma, no, you don't. You have very blue eyes. What do you mean you have blue eyes? And she was like, no, Lauren, I have brown eyes. So whatever, we eat. She takes me home and this is the whole thing. I talked to my mom too. And I'm like, Mom, Grandma has brown eyes. And my mom was like, yeah, Grandma has brown eyes. No, she doesn't. She has blue eyes. What do you mean she has brown eyes? Like everyone knows that Grandma has blue eyes and everybody was making me believe that I was crazy. The next time that I see my grandma, 3 days later, my grandma has blue eyes again. So of course I'm like, Grandma, your eyes are blue. Why are your eyes blue? And she's like, yeah, Lauren, I have blue eyes. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? We just had this conversation 3 days ago when you had brown eyes and I told you that you had blue eyes and you're telling me that you have brown eyes, but I know that you have blue eyes. And now that you have blue eyes again, you're telling me that you know you have blue eyes? I'm not crazy. This was not a dream. I did not dream this. This happened.
One single snow. It snowed pretty hard.
It's snowing really hard in the mirror. And then, like I said, there's nothing.
It's all clear. Yo, the sky is fucking blue! And then it turned off!
I organized the kitchen. I put some of my cookbooks above the microwave and then some I put in this china cabinet. Okay? And then I went online to Amazon and I ordered these cute little ceramic cats. They're heavy and they're gold. And that's very important. And I chose gold because had I chosen the other option, which was oiled bronze, which is what I would have preferred, you wouldn't be able to see it, much like that black pot. Like they would have just blended in. So I got gold. I don't go for gold, ever. Like even my class ring, everyone at Clemson got these in gold. I went silver. Hold on. Like even in decorating I know my walls are like a gold color. I didn't pick that. It's just how the house came and I'm too cheap to redo it. Okay, silver. I redid this. I refinished this a couple weeks ago. Silver pools. Silver tufted headboard. Silver frames here. Just driving that point home, okay? The reason I chose gold is because you wouldn't have been able to see it otherwise. And I loved that they were cats. I had never seen that before, okay? I was like, this is adorable. I must have. So then maybe like, I don't know, whenever the semifinals were for college playoffs, okay? I built a bookshelf. And then when the game was over, I went upstairs to my attic and I pulled down boxes of books that have been in storage since before I purchased this house, okay? Really probably since 2019. I'm telling you something's going on. Okay, so I put some of them in the other room on another bookshelf, but the ones that matched the color scheme of the bookshelf I was doing, I kept. And then as I'm pulling all of these books out, guess what I find? Guess what I find in the box? The exact same bookends. And when I looked at them on Amazon, I'd never seen them before. And this box has been in storage for like 3-4 years now. Like storage meaning like in my attic or at my parents' house. And I've asked my mom, because I was like, maybe she just threw them in there. No, she'd never seen them before. And she's the only other person who would have ever messed with it. And I can't make heads or tails of it.
Good morning, Redders. I'm going to tell you about this one time I broke the Matrix and pierced the however manyth wall of my own reality. It was not fun. I was 17 years old. I decided I was going to take acid with my friends, and it wasn't a great group of people, and soon my mind went to a very chaotic place. It had started with my friends talking to me through their photographs that were on her shelf, and it just kind of went from bad to worse, at which point the room seemed to transform. My chair was floating in the middle, and it looked a lot like that scene in Interstellar where he goes into the infinite dimension of his daughter's bedroom. It looked very much like this. Yeah, when I saw this film, it freaked me out because I was like, I think I've been there. There was nothing. The room seemed to repeat infinitely above and below me. I was like in a giant lift shaft, just repeating realities, and I was freaking out. I'm 17, I've got shit for brains. I didn't know what was happening. And then the further down this nightmarish rabbit hole I went, I started to see this. Now, this is something called the Mandelbrot set, and it's way above my pay grade. I would find it very difficult to explain. It's something to do with fractals. It's something to do with the infinite nature of creation. All I knew was that I was just seeing these tiny images starting and then spreading and then spreading and then spreading and then spreading, and then I had this inexplicable feeling of knowing something that I shouldn't know. And it turns out that this is something that when you're in a higher state of awareness has happened to a lot of people on a lot of different types of substances, shall we say. That this feeling like you have accidentally opened a door to somewhere that you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to see in there. And this overwhelming feeling like I had stumbled across something that I wasn't supposed to know, and that I had broken my reality and that I couldn't go back. The worst kind of psychosis. It was a real mess for a long time. And it's because I honestly think I saw something I wasn't supposed to see.
I'm just telling y'all about my experiences. You guys said you wanted to hear more of my travel stories. So this one is not of another dimension, but I feel of another timeline. So my husband and I both share very similar memories of each other in another timeline. Believe it or not, I was an Egyptian princess. I was the youngest of 5 sisters, and I had 4 other sisters. At least 2 of my sisters I've met in this timeline. We're friends now, very close. And I always believe that we get to experience these lives with the same group of people. Like we get to shift a little bit. Some new people are in and out. But for the most part, we experience these different timelines with the same people. And they're not always the same sex that they are now. Like your husband could have been your sister or your cousin or in another timeline. So it sounds weird, but I hope it makes sense. So I was talking about a memory that I had with my husband. I was like, yeah, I was a princess and I was in an arranged marriage. But the man that I was supposed to marry, I was so in love with him. Like, we kind of grew up together and we knew that we were destined to be married and we were excited. And he said that he had a very similar experience. And I said, I'm going to be honest, I feel like it was you. And he's like, I feel like my memory was you. And we both shared a lot of things that were the same from my house. I lived in a beautiful, like, it wasn't a castle. It was like elaborate. There was gold everywhere. There were jewels everywhere. My clothes were covered in like jewels, and it was just very magical but scary. Long story short, we were unalived like right before our wedding. There was some type of war that broke out and we both were unalived. He was fighting for me. I was taken. So I was taken and they unalived me. So he had to avenge me because he was so devastated that he lost me. And so he was unalived during the battle. I'm trying to remember more details, but it just blew my mind that we both shared this similar memory of a past life and we still ended up together.
This morning, I experienced an absolutely terrifying glitch in the Matrix. So I experienced a time travel glitch in the Matrix, and I'm basically gonna tell you guys what happened. So last night, I set my alarm for 9:30 this morning. I'm freelance, so I don't have a job that I have to go to. I work from home, I create content, and I make music. And I was like, I'm gonna wake up at 9:30, I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. So I woke up at 9:30, my alarm was going off. My phone is charging next to my bed, always. So I unplugged my phone, like usual, set it down on the other side of the bed, and I stopped my alarm. It was a beautiful day outside, there's no one downstairs, because there's like a hole in my bedroom. I'll show you. So I sleep up here. There's like a hole to down here where you can hear everything that's going on. So I could hear that there was no one downstairs. Like I said, the sun was shining, it was beautiful. And I was like, I'm so relaxed, I'm gonna sleep for 5 more minutes. I didn't set an alarm, I never do this. I usually just wake up after 5 minutes. So I ended up falling asleep for a couple of hours, and I can usually tell the time in my dreams, like how long I've been asleep for. And in this particular dream, I was with my partner, and I ended up telling him, like, I have to go because I have to wake up because it's like 11. It's gonna be like past 11, and I have so much stuff to do today. I can't believe I overslept this much. And I woke up, and I reached over to where my charging place is, and I was like, oh, that's right, my phone's not there, it's on the other side of the bed. So I went to grab my phone, and at first I didn't notice this, but it was dark outside, and there were people downstairs. And I was like, what? Have I slept until later today? So I checked my phone, and it says 7, but not 7 p.m., 7 a.m. And I was like, that can't make any sense because I woke up at 9. It's gotta be like half 11. And I checked it again and again and again, double checking, and I was like, but that doesn't make any sense. And you guys might just think that I was sleepy and I dreamt my alarm going off, but if so, why was my phone on the other side of the bed? In my sleep, I'm really, really still. Honestly, when my friends come over to my house, they think I'm dead. I don't snore, I don't move around, I don't do any of that. So it's impossible for me to have unplugged my phone and moved it in my sleep. Which means I must have woken up at 9:30 because also my alarm had not gone off. There was no like alarm setting for 9:30. I checked, there was nothing. So that means my alarm went off at 9:30, I woke up, I slept until 11:30, and I woke up at 7 a.m.? It doesn't make any sense. Same day, the outside was dark, people were downstairs. It was so scary.
Population and minimizing civilian casualties have long been a cornerstone of the counterinsurgency doctrine. Civilian casualties have long been a cornerstone of the counterinsurgency doctrine.
Let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're what the fuck, bro?
was driving from Atlanta to North Carolina. It's the middle of the night. She's on the phone with my grandma, and my grandma is helping her over maps, Google Maps, because my mom was running out of gas and she was panicking a little bit because she was in the middle of fucking nowhere, okay? Finally, over the hill, she sees a lit up, beautiful gas station. So she pulls in, she pumps her gas, uses her card, and then she goes to walk in to pee before she leaves. So she's walking towards the door, and as she gets to the door, her mom called her and goes, "You ran out of gas, didn't you?" And my mom's like, "No, I'm at a gas station. Is my car, do you not see it?" She said, "No, your car's like parked in the middle of nowhere. Where are you?" And she said, I'm at a gas station." And as she's saying that, she goes to pull the door and it's locked. And she looks up and there's a close sign, and she was like, "Ah, I just got gas, that's weird." She turns around, everything's dark. No lights on, no people, no cars, bars on the windows, boarded up windows, a completely abandoned gas station. It makes me want to throw up thinking about it. So of course, like any normal human, my mom's like, I've lost my mind, or I've fallen into a different dimension. She speeds off, gets on the interstate, completely weirded out, looks at her gas tank, her gas is full. She got gas at this non-existent gas station. It's not on her credit card history, nothing. They go back, look on maps, there's no gas station there. Never figured it out.